morning and welcome to Camnet TV's Rise and Thrive Breakfast Show. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It is a lovely Wednesday morning. I'm Tapelo Joe Smata. Now this morning we have nothing but the best for you in terms of current affairs from a lot has been happening in this country, which we'll be delving into much later with our guest coming from the Socialist Party. He will be joining us on set shortly. But like always, we go straight into zooming headlines so that we can be able to showcase to you, our dear viewers, what the newspapers are saying. And do remember that we are live on Top Search Channel 106, Facebook, YouTube, and can stream as Camnet TV. Let's go to our newspaper headlines. Okay, we go to the broadsheet, the Zambia Daily Mail, state-owned newspaper there, and it runs with a screaming headline which reads, and I quote, Lungu, a failed statesman. Chipoka says his comment on drugs issue disappointing. That headline and statement is attributed to the Minister of Commerce and Trade, Honorable Chipoka Mulenga. Then we have a sub-headline, HH invite checks to boost medicines production. Further right, we have a sub-headline, HH donates to Kafulafuta bereaved family. Below that, we have another sub-headline, 700,000 kwacha theft accused Matero Boys teacher in court. Okay, so that's how the broadsheet, the Zambia Daily Mail, looks like this particular morning. You, the viewer, is encouraged to come through and give us your views, comments, contributions regarding the headlines that you are able to see on your TV screen. Then much later, you'll be able to come through and also contribute as we host our guest this particular morning. Let's go to another tabloid. Okay, we go straight to the News Diggers. Now the News Diggers runs with a banner headline that reads, you can vote out UPND but still remain poor, says Vice President her owner WK Mutale Nalumango. Then on your left there we have a sub-headline, despite GDP growth, poverty still very high, British envoy. Okay. Below that, in purple, Nyasulu implicates HH's advisor. I used to get calls from Mwananyanda on procurement. Now, Mr. Nyasulu is a former director at the Zambia Medicines, at ZAMSA. He is the former Director General, and he has been fingered out in the corruption allegations that have surrounded the Ministry of Health in terms of procuring drugs, and also the missing of drugs in health facilities. And this came to light obviously when the United States Ambassador to Zambia, Mr. Gonzalez, held a press briefing where he revealed that there has been misuse of drugs by government officials mandated to man those drugs and distribute them. And also he revealed that 50 million United States dollars would be cut off from the health sector of Zambia. So we'll follow this matter as it unfolds. Now, according to this sub-headline, Mr. Nyasulu has implicated the president's advisor, Mr. Mwananyanda, on procurement, according to this particular sub-headline from the News Diggers. Matero Boys teacher denies stealing exam fees. Okay. Let's go to another headline. We go to the Daily Nation. Now the Daily Nation reads with a headline, Ex-Zamsa boss spills beans, and he reveals that investigative wings have hidden reports regarding the marooned 61 containers of irregularly acquired drugs from Egypt, and claims he was fired for refusing to be a corruption puppet. But yes, I think the Zambian public is still in suspense regarding what happened to the 61, is it 62 containers that were marooned at a private residence in Makeni residential area of Lusaka. I think the Zambian citizens want to know, because obviously these drugs were purchased using taxpayers' money from the Zambian citizens themselves. They would like to know where are those containers, what happened to the owners of that particular residence, what were our containers as Zambians doing in that particular residence. I think we need closure as a country. We need to know. And when the ambassador from the United States comes out strongly regarding this particular issue, can we blame him? Can we blame the American government for cutting $50 million from our health sector because of such irregularities like marooning containers at a private residence in Makeni area of Lusaka? What happened to those containers? What happened to the individuals that were involved? What happened to the owners of the private residence? Who took the containers there? And what was the purpose of taking the containers there that was supposed to be taken to Ndeke House, obviously, and be parked there? What were they doing in the private residence? Who was the minister at that particular time? Who was the PA? This was happening. These are the answers that the Zambian people want closure to. And obviously we saw the press briefing that was held by two ministers, a Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Relations, Honorable Mlambo Haimbe, and also Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security, Honorable Jack Mwimbo. And what came out from there was foreign envoys should be able to follow the right channel of communication. But the question that is coming out is, we have heard reports that the U.S. ambassador had engaged government officials, relevant officials, privately following those diplomatic channels, if you like. However, to no avail. Nothing fruitful came from those particular meetings, hence him going public and revealing this to the Zambian people. And now that the public is aware, the public are requesting for answers regarding what is happening in the health sector. We have heard of reports of rural health posts, rural clinics, rural hospitals not having medicines, not having essential medical supplies, and yet 61 containers were marooned at a private residence in Makeni. Who was involved? What has happened to those particular individuals? Where is the report suggesting the repercussions or punitive measures that have been meted to those individuals that were involved in channeling our containers to a private residence? The Zambian people want to know, and information is slowly trickling in, and we're going to follow this particular story to the latter. As the media, we have a watchdog role to play to hold leaders, political leaders, to account for their decisions and promises they make to the people of this particular country. That's our role as the media. Still on the Daily Nation, we have Sikota mocks dubious political endorsements. Okay. Further on your left side of your TV screen, we have a crying emoji there with a headline in blue there which says, "Youth nabbed for posting crying emojis in WhatsApp group." Okay. Youth nabbed for posting crying emojis in WhatsApp group. In a strange turn of events that has left many questioning the state of freedom of expression in Zambia, police in Lusaka have apprehended a 22-year-old youth. Okay, we'll follow this story to the latter. Obviously, we'll be reaching out to the police and find out what really happened for this particular youth, very young, 22 years, to be apprehended for posting crying emojis in a WhatsApp group. We'll follow it to the latter and get full information from the sources themselves. Let's go to another daily tabloid. Okay, we go to the Mast. Now, the Mast has an interesting headline. Government not for thugs. Threats, intimidation won't stop us from demanding accountability. And this particular newspaper has got a picture or an image of a youthful presidential candidate, and we are talking about Dr. Richard Silumbe. There in that particular headline is attributed to him. He is the leader and president of the Leadership Movement, an opposition political party right here in Zambia. And according to that particular headline, he is saying that let's go back to it, dear director, for our viewers to see that headline. Government not for thugs. Threats, intimidation won't stop us from demanding accountability. Okay. Police detain youth over cost of living post. Okay. We also have voting us out won't end poverty. Narumango. Okay, attributed to the vice president there. Medicines thefts deliberately ignored, says Nyasulu. Okay, Mr. Nyasulu continues to make headlines as you opened a can of worms yesterday, or spilled the beans yesterday, when he made a radio interview where a lot was revealed, and coming from the former director of ZAMSA. We have taken obviously interest in all the revelations that he made, and we are waiting to see what action will be taken regarding those revelations. And you can come through, dear viewer, and give us your own perspective, view, opinion, or contribution regarding the stories that we have shown you as we usher in our viewer, our guest this particular morning. We'll quickly take a break. Join us on the other side. Do stay tuned.
Monday to Thursday afternoon, join us for the Lunchtime Cafe. We get to bring to you emerging stories making the headlines, midday news, and we remind you of what political leaders and governance actors said back in the days. In Forgotten Stories, we emphasize to you the importance of eating healthy foods and leading healthy lifestyles on the Nutrition Corner. Get the latest updates in sports and critical interviews. Because we value your contribution to national matters, we accord you an opportunity to share your perspectives during the viewers' reactions. The Camnet TV Lunchtime Cafe is an all-inclusive buffet. Camnet TV, not just
Lukalu, all the way from South Africa. You are watching Camnet channel, not just another channel. God bless you. Stay tuned. We testify. We celebrate for all you've done. Lord, we give you all the praise. Oh, we testify. We celebrate. Lord, we give you all the praise.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. Camnet TV is on channel 274 on DSTV, channel 25 on GoTV, and find us on channel 106 on Topstar. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
Every Monday to Thursday afternoon, join us for the Lunchtime Cafe. We get to bring to you emerging stories making the headlines, midday news, and we remind you of what political leaders and governance actors said back in the days. In Forgotten Stories, we emphasize to you the importance of eating healthy foods and leading healthy lifestyles on the Nutrition Corner. Get the latest updates in sports and critical interviews. Because we value your contribution to national matters, we accord you an opportunity to share your perspectives during the viewers' reactions. The Camnet TV Lunchtime Cafe is an all-inclusive buffet. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
you so much for joining us on Rise and Thrive Breakfast Show this particular morning. Now, you are still watching us on Topstar Channel 106, Facebook, YouTube, and can stream as Camnet TV. Now, like I said, that I will be joined by my guests coming from the opposition Socialist Party led by Comrade President Fred Membe. Now, seated on my far left is Mr. BARTHOLOMEW PHIRI. He is the Socialist Party National Youth League Secretary and for LUSAKA province, that is. And seated on my immediate left is Ms. Nancy Wusiku Mpongo. She is the National Training Coordinator for the Socialist Party Youth League. Gentlemen and lady, good to see you and welcome.
Thank you so much. It's good to see you too.
Okay, fantastic. Let's get into it. Like they say, ladies first, and straight away we go to the lady. Now, just tell us, as a national coordinator, what you do.
Like you said, I'm the national training coordinator for the youth wing.
Okay.
And for it is known that our political party is an ideological based political party. Hence, we have different ideological trainings that we offer. We've got other political trainings that we offer to our comrades, those that have joined the party, so that they get rooted to what socialism is. So our ideology is a Marxist-Leninist or communist socialist ideology, which deals with just getting to know an introduction, the basic introduction to what socialism is, so that we have people that know what they're getting into.
Okay, fantastic. Mr. PHIRI, this is not the first time we're hosting you. We have hosted you before on this particular platform. Now, maybe for starters, for those that are seeing you for the first time, what do you do as LUSAKA Province Youth Secretary in the Youth League of the Socialist Party?
Thank you so much, Comrade. I'm in charge of the secretariat work under Youth League in LUSAKA Province.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's it.
In a nutshell.
Yes.
Okay, for the viewers out there, you can come through and call us and be part of this particular discussion. Now, coming to you, Ms. Wusiku Mpongo, let me find out from you. Let's look at the role of a youth in Socialist Party. We have seen the Socialist to be pushing the socialist agenda, which has been, which is not too common in Zambian politics. So let's find out, what's the role of a youth in the Socialist Party?
Okay, first and foremost, I'll start off identifying who a youth is.
Okay.
Then we get back to what the role of a youth in a socialist movement or socialist state should look like. A youth is identified on the Zambian context from the age of 16 to 35. Okay. And when you come to the youth structure that we have as a socialist league, all our comrades on the youth league are all below that age. Okay. The youngest should be 22 years old, who is actually my deputy as a training coordinator. Okay. And we all know that the youth are at the helm of the revolution, and we are the core for change. When it comes to the socialist agenda, the agenda and the duty of the Socialist Party is to push forward the youths, because we youths in the front line are a majority. We are the youths that are in for change. When we look at the 2021 elections, I think the Socialist Party is a party that had more youths participating. Evident enough, I'm also one of the candidates that participated during that elections. The Socialist Party is really a party that all the youth should look up to, because we have an agenda for the youth. We have all leaders who are youths that are pushing forward to see that there is change, because the youth in Zambia are taken to be people that they should put in the forefront for violence, people that should actually, we are undermined, let me say so. But in a socialist state, we are the people that should be put in the front line to push their agenda for change. Yeah.
Okay. Let me come to Mr. PHIRI. She has laid the foundation talking about the youth. But I want you to go a step further. Let's add the women as well. and when it comes to community empowerment. You are coming from a community yourself, and you see these things happening. Let's look at the youth, women, and community empowerment. Mr. Phiri.
All right, thank you so much, comrade.
Mm-hmm.
Talking of the youth, women empowerment in our communities, I think we haven't done much as a country.
Okay.
That's why the Socialist Party says that if we were to empower the young people, the women also, first and foremost, we need to look at are they involved in leadership positions? Are they involved in key decision-making positions? I think that's what is key, and that's what is cardinal. If at all the young people, the women are not involved in this position, then it means we are not doing much in terms of empowerment.
Okay.
So it's not just an empowerment that should be based on, giving them grants and whatever we can talk about, or maybe skills, but also let's get them, involved in a key decision-making position. I think that's the best way to go.
Okay. Okay, coming to you, our lady here, let me find out from you. We have heard, we have seen Comrade President Fred Membe. We've known him since the days when he was a journalist. He is still a journalist because journalists never retire. But let me find out from you, why should the Zambian people, the youth in particular, trust the Socialist Party, its young leaders, and also Comrade President Fred Membe? Why should the Zambian people trust him and the Socialist Party, including the two of you?
Okay. When you come to the context of what socialism is all about, I think I'll explain the basics in it so that we just get to where we are now.
Okay, let's get to the basics.
Yes. Socialism is an ideological program or project which has its pillars, which is justice, equity, and peace. So justice, equity, and peace are not only pillars that will stand alone, but they come with their principles, which is solidarity, humility, equality, honesty, and many others, so to mention, which also have their core values that are collective decision-making, transparency, active participation in all programs. So when you look at this foundation and the foundation that the Socialist Party is based on, it will actually show you to say we are the only party that has actually put people first, because we believe in humility, we believe in equality. Each one is attended to according to their needs. In the case where you have 100 kwacha and you have a comrade that has 5 children and the other one has 2 children, we have to share that according to the needs that they have. We do not believe in the issue of equity. It is dependent on some certain situations. So when you trust us and put us into government come next year, 2026, and put Dr. Fred Membe and its youth league leaders or women's league leaders into power, believe you me, you have a society that will have a just, equal, and fair, humane society. It's because we believe in justice, equity, and peace for all.
Okay, still on you, but let me find out, are you demonstrating this in opposition? Because they say charity begins at home. So are you demonstrating this while in opposition?
Yes, we are. Because when you see, we're talking about active participation, transparency in collective decision making. We are part of the people that make decisions in the party. I am a national training coordinator for the Youth League. Hence, I handle the affairs and the issues that have to do with the Youth League. I can also participate in the women's program because I'm also a young woman, so to say. So which is me actively participating. When you talk about transparency, I've just explained about what the pillars of socialism talk about, what socialism is anchored on. Meaning we're transparent enough to accommodate everyone and involve everyone in every program that we take part into. We are bounded by our constitution, we're bounded by our manifesto, which means we cannot go against our principles and we cannot go against what we're saying to the people out there. So charity begins at home, yes, and we are indeed practicing or walking our talk as a party.
Okay, still on that one, since they say ladies should be brought to the fore and participate in politics, I'm putting you on the spotlight, Miss Nancy. Let me find out from you. We have seen political parties that have disregarded their party manifesto, and they have said we are now upholding the Zambian constitution because it is the supreme law of the land. As the Socialist Party, that your party manifesto is not in conflict with the Zambian constitution, the supreme law of the land.
As a party, we have a deliberate policy where we speak about the 50+1 participation of women and young youths to politics, especially in key leadership positions. Meaning that for us to come up with such a manifesto, such a constitution, it is the people that participated. So we believe the people govern and leaders lead, in the sense that we listen to what the people tell us, what is it that they want for us to do for them, even in our position. And believe you me, once we get into power, we'll practice what the people want, because at the end of the day, a leader can be one, but the majority, the masses, are the ones that hold the same supreme law that we're talking about. So for us to come up with a program that is going to be people-led, it is something that we're already practicing even when we're in opposition. So we won't have conflicts or problems during that time.
Okay, we are keeping an eye on you, the Socialist Party. Let me come to you, Mr. PHIRI.
Yes, comrade.
Community projects.
Okay.
We have seen there has been an increment of CDF since 2021, and now it stands at 36.1 million kwacha. My question to you is that in various communities across Zambia, we bring it to Lusaka, where both of you are based, are we seeing community projects coming from the Constituency Development Fund?
All right. It's a good thing, comrade, that the CDF was increased to 36.1 million.
Okay.
Okay. It has been increased so much that the 1.6 can never be anywhere near to that amount.
Okay.
But so far, you and I believe that the UPND have got that hunger of commissioning projects. If at all there are projects that they have done, possibly by now we would have seen them commissioning. The only things that we have seen, we saw the president commissioning a borehole in Mandevu constituency. And it was in all 8 constituencies of Lusaka district. We have also seen and heard about the toilets that have been constructed from the CDF. So if at all there are any projects that they have undertaken, I think by now we would have seen it. But truth is that there is no project anywhere that we have seen so far.
Okay.
That's what we can say. There are no projects that the UPND are conducting as of now, because if those projects were there, the president would have commissioned all those projects. And 36 point plus whatever million is just too much that they can come up with projects. They can, in fact, upgrade even clinics to level 1 hospitals, like what we've seen in the past, where Sparta level 1 was just a clinic, and today it's now a level 1 hospital. Chingwele, Kanyama, and many others. So the issue of CDF, it carries a 60% out of 100% CDF allocation.
Okay.
Let them tell us the projects that they have initiated and how far they have gone. There is no transparency, there is no accountability in that. Because if there is transparency, there is accountability, by now we would have seen that this is what they are doing. Okay? So we are not seeing any project, comrade, so far that is happening. I'm glad that some good 2-3 weeks ago, I was privileged to attend to one of the meetings conducted by the WDC in Ikawa ward, just there at the market, where they were talking about the increment of CDF from 1.6 million to 36.1 million. But what was surprising is that they couldn't talk about what they have done with that money. And I was one of the person Who asked them questions? I said, CDF for 2022, 23, 24, and 25. What have you done? Can you tell us projects that you've done? Okay. Shockingly, I was told they constructed a drainage which is just about 150 meters. I was told there's a certain project, they are trying to bring in a paver, a machine that will be used to, make pavers so that they can use them in paving our roads in Mandevu constituency. But now, how long has this taken them? Are they telling us that CDF monies for 4 years has been used to construct a 6 by 10 building? We were told they bought desks at Justin Ikawe School. Those were the responses they gave us. Surely, comrade, can we say we are developing as a nation if that amount of money can be given to a constituency and only 3 items, the desks they bought, the drainage that was constructed, and as well as the same 6 by 10 building which they are building, which is not even functioning even up to date for 4 years.
But the UPND have told you that they've achieved 90% of the promises they made to the Zambian people based on their 10-point plan. The videos are there. I'm not making all the allegations. And Mr. Jito Kayumba, in a video clip that went viral on State House premises, saying that they have achieved 90% of their campaign promises. Is this 90% visible in Mandevu constituency? Let me get it from you. You seem to be a man that is on the ground. You are even attending town hall meetings. Let me find out from you. Is the 90% visible?
Thank you so much, comrade. I'm glad that you talked about the 10-point plan of the UPND. I think let's rate them from their 10-point plan.
Okay.
I have it here.
Okay.
I can just go through it a little bit, and then let's get to see what they have achieved from it.
Okay.
Okay. So the first thing is create jobs and business opportunities.
Okay.
The question is, have the UPND government created employments? The issue of civil service, comrade, it shouldn't be something whereby the UPND should even beat their chest to say they have done much. You only recruit according to the capacity that is needed at that time. Every successive government has done that before. Civil servants have been employed. The UPND are not the first ones. Okay, so the recruitment of civil servants is not job creation, not at all, not anywhere nearby. Let them tell us how many industries that they have put in place. If you manage to bring in even a single industry, it means you have created jobs. If they created jobs, this is from their 10-point plan. They are talking about business opportunities where they have denied people access to do business. Okay? There is road shedding, comrade. If you are doing business and there is no power, can you do business? No. So they are actually going against what they promised the Zambian people. Okay? So that's the first one. Then they are talking about reducing inequality. Comrade, you and I have observed and we have seen how many people have been subjected to police brutality. How many people have been arrested. Can we single out one person from the UPND who has been treated in the same manner they are treating their opponents? It's not working.
Okay.
So, if they come here and tell us that they have achieved 90%, how have they arrived to the 90%? Who has rated them? Who has marked them? Comrade, you cannot audit your own works.
Okay.
You can't. So, Zambians are not foolish that they can be brainwashed. We are clever enough. Our eyes are open. We are able to see the incompetence of this government.
Okay. Let me bring both of you to an interesting but sad issue. that has to do with the health sector. Now, the former Director General of ZAMSA was on a radio interview yesterday, and he opened a can of worms, and both of you might be aware that he was named as one of the small fish in the investigations that have to do with the drugs, theft, misuse at Ministry of Health. And this revelation was made by the U.S. ambassador to Zambia. Scandals at the Ministry of Health. We saw 62 containers being marooned at the private residence right here in Lusaka, Makeni residential area. Let me start with Madam Mpongo here. When you hear of such revelations coming from a U.S. envoy, an ambassador to Zambia, blowing the trumpet, blowing the whistle, and saying there's too much drug theft, the ambassador actually wept. He shed tears looking at our health sector and how politicians, quote unquote, are seemingly misusing this very vital sector. As a woman, as a young lady, how does that sit with you?
To be honest with you, it's something that is disheartening. It is something that is heartbreaking. We have facilities, we have hospitals, we have clinics that were turned into hospitals. I think that is in 2021 or so, if I'm not mistaken. And each time people go there is no medication, and it's sad. And we have people who are in communities that cannot afford to buy those medications because of those medications in pharmacies are expensive. And it's so sad to find out that the people that we've entrusted with our health, who are the ruling team, who are supposed to help make sure that everything is in place, are the ones that are into these corrupt systems of selling medication, which is supposed to be given to the people freely. It is heartbreaking to see that a person would wake up early in the morning to be the first person to vote for a government that will come and kill you at the end of the day. Because this is killing people, you know. Because if I am a patient, I'm also affected, let me say so. In as much as I'm in the opposition political party, I am highly affected as a human who lives in a community. My family is highly affected. My neighbors are highly affected. The entire Zambia is highly affected because not everybody is able to buy this medication when we go to these hospitals. We are given prescriptions each and every day. The only medication you can find is Panadol, and they would give me 5 tablets, which cannot even sustain or help me deal with the pain that I feel. It is so shameless. It is so despicable. It is something that shouldn't have even escalated to such a manner. It is something that we should have prevented as Zambians. They knew these problems were on. They saw and they did it. You know, they knew to say these medications are not in hospitals, hence they are selling them, because they're the ones that were doing it. It's so sad that it's now out there in the public, because it is difficult for other people, foreign entities, to come and entrust us with anything. This is the American people's money, and these people brought that money to us so that we can be helped. Those medications were donated to us so that we can be helped.
Okay. Mr. PHIRI, let me come to you. This revelation coming from a U.S. envoy, a foreign dignitary. And now, in the news diggers today, we have the British envoy saying, despite GDP growth, poverty is still very high. Yesterday, the Vice President was caught in a clip which has gone viral, where she was saying that you can vote out the UPND, you still remain poor. You are young politicians. I want to find out from you the whole essence of the Zambians voting for a political party to govern or run the affairs of the country is to better their lives. Sure. Now, if such statements are coming to say, even if you vote out a political party, you still remain poor, then the question is, what was the point of voting you in the first place? Number one. Number two, a British envoy says GDP growth despite GDP growth, the country, the poverty levels are still high. On the other hand, you have the US ambassador who has revealed drug theft. Coupled with all these challenges, how do you make of these unfortunate incidents that are happening in our governance system, Mr. PHIRI? The examples I've given, they are very confusing, but they need to be discussed.
Sure. Thank you so much, comrade. In the first place, this is not the first time that scandals are happening at the Ministry of Health. On the 13th of July 2024, we heard on news 61 containers were spotted at a private premise, comrade. This was involving a consignment of medical supplies worth $65 million. Secondly, on 26th November 2024, there were issues of $13 million ambulance scandal at the Ministry of Health. Today, we are now talking about the liberation that was just made recently by the US Ambassador Michael Ganzel. Then the Vice President now says, even if you vote us out, you still remain poor. That's the arrogance, comrade, with the UPND. They were voted into office as a solution to the suffering masses. What have they done? They have given us protracted hunger. They have exacerbated the living material condition of our people. Do we need them in 2026? No, we don't.
They are a burden.
They are a burden to us.
Okay.
And what is surprising is that the UPND have not been a solution. If the UPND were a solution, by now they were not going to be telling us about the mistakes we saw in the previous regime.
Okay.
The reason why we changed is because we saw the mistakes the previous regime were doing. Now, we voted in the UPND to come and solve these problems that we are facing today. Have they done it? No. What have they done? They have worsened everything.
Just to chip in a little bit, I think the UPND are sweet talkers. They were sweet talkers before they got into power, and they did not have a vision for a better Zambia.
Okay.
What they did, this is me speaking from the experience that I have and from what I have seen and the complaints that are out there.
Okay.
They copied and pasted each and every person's manifesto and each and every person's promise that was put across. So meaning they did not have the actual work or actual way to deal with the problems that we Zambians are facing. That is the difference between the UPND or a capitalist government and the socialist government. First and foremost, on the issues of the CDF that the comrade alluded to earlier on, is that the difference between them and when you put the Socialist Party into power is that we first educate a woman. Because you cannot just entrust people with these grants, these soft loans, and then expect them to actually come out good in the businesses that they do. What we as a Socialist Party are doing now, it shows that even if we were to be entrusted today with the power, with the authority to govern the country, believe you me, the statement that the leadership of the UPND said yesterday to say we'll still remain in poverty even if we were to vote them out, that is a lie. We will only remain in poverty if we keep maintaining them, because it has shown that they do not have a vision for progress. They do not have a vision for a better Zambia. Let them step down. If they can even resign, it would even be better for us, because it would not waste us time for us to put in the Socialist Party. I think that's what I can say.
In the same vein, comrade.
As we begin to wind up, comrade, yes?
All right, thank you. In the same vein, comrade, the only people that have made Zambians poor and more poor is the UPND.
Okay.
Zambian people were able to purchase a 25 bag of minimum monthly. Today, people are going for Pameras. Who has made them to buy Pameras? It's the UPND. The president was going around the whole country with Pameras and Masaradin sachets, saying this will be the thing of the past once you vote me into office. What have they done? Nothing, comrade. So, we cannot remain poor. We can only remain poor if this government continues. In fact, the president was even pleading with the Zambian people to say, give us a second term and we'll better the economy.
Okay.
Comrade, you can't better the economy if you failed in 4 years. The UPND have done nothing in 4 years. So the entire term, 5 years, is nothing. How do we expect a failed government to better our lives? They are the ones that have subjected us into this massive poverty that we are living in today. We do not need the UPND anymore. What we need is a government that has a heart for the people. A government that pushes the agenda of the nation first, not individualism, comrade.
Okay. As we conclude, the largest constituency is watching the Zambian people. Let me begin with you, Ms. Nancy Wusiku Mpongo. As we go, what's your message to the Zambian people?
As I go, my message to the Zambian people is that you're welcome to the Socialist Party. We are a home for everyone. We are a home for every Zambian. We hold the hearts of the people to our doorsteps. You're welcome. Let's vote in Fred Membe 2026 as the president to rule the entire country and help us. Actually, we will govern together this Zambia. The UPND have failed together with its leadership, and there is no room for them in 2026. If they could step down even today, I as a youth with a mandate for a better Zambia would say, please, mwabombeni sereni komkwai, they can ba Socialist Party bese bateke pantu, tulefo okubombere emisepera, bana mayo na bantu bonse muchalo chesu cha Zambia. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. PHIRI?
Thank you, comrade. We need a government, comrade, that has a heart for the people, the Zambian people. Capitalism has failed us, and it's now time to work with the Socialist Party. Dr. Fred Membe and many other senior party leaders are not doing it for themselves. They are doing it for us, the younger generation. They are laying a foundation that the young people now should identify themselves, that they mean well for this country, just like what we experienced during the independence struggle. In other ways, what Dr. Fred Membe is doing today is trying to show the young people that regardless of your age, you can still do it. You are not leaders of tomorrow, but you are leaders of today. So our message to the young people, our message to the Zambian people is that the Socialist Party is ready to take up governance. It's ready to include everyone. It's ready to have collective leadership and effective service delivery.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming through and for making it to the breakfast show this particular morning. It has been a pleasure. Looking forward to another time when we can host you and have a lengthy discussion regarding these particular matters. However, thank you so much for coming.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay, there you have it, viewers. Thank you for choosing us amongst many. I have been your host, Tapelo. Joe Smarter is my name. Now, on behalf of my two guests and my director upstairs, Mr. Lesa, it's bye-bye. We'll see you when you see us. Good morning.